Hello, good morning. Welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, and there are so many stories we are going to be looking at. We are going to be talking Gabriel Martinelli coming back to the training ground, training hard. Mikel Arteta confirming that. We shall be talking about Thomas Partey coming back as well. Arsenal fans want Massimiliano Allegri. We shall be talking about Mikel Arteta's situation and the games coming up. And of course, the transfer roundup this early morning. Why don't you give me a like on the video, and I want to get your comments about Mikel Arteta's situation and Massimiliano Allegri, one of those managers that we wanted to bring in, and we accidentally brought in Mikel Arteta. We're going to be talking about him and more. What can he offer to Arsenal? Maybe there also a big transfer update from Fabrizio Romano and other sources suggesting that Arsenal could be getting something big this January transfer window. So why don't you stay with me until the end, and then you'll know what exactly is entitled in this video. Let us get straight into it. I'll begin with Gabriel Martinelli, who is back fully in training. And Mikel Arteta has confirmed the young lad is training hard. He's training so hard to see himself get back in the starting lineup. By the time he got injured, I thought he was one of the best performers. I thought he was one of those players that were remarkably good. He was so good. I thought this was a time for Gabriel Martinelli to break through, but it wasn't. He was a little bit unfortunate that he got that injury, but I hope it doesn't become a setback. I hope it doesn't become a setback, because the games he played in the Europa League last season, the few games actually he played against Premier League teams last season, he was so good against Chelsea, against West Ham. I still remember his brilliance, and I think actually against Southampton, in that 2-2 draw, I think if you have Gabriel Martinelli back, maybe we have another point of hope. Right now the club is in total despair. We just need something to hold on to. We just need something to cling on to, and we need a piece of hope to cling on to. And I think the return of Gabriel Martinelli should be a cling up. But like I told you yesterday when I was streaming, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on these young lads. I don't want to say Gabriel Martinelli is going to come back, change everything at club, change everything that is going wrong at Arsenal at a period when he has been not, around, when he has been away. It's just not possible. He might solve maybe things like the goal scoring, clinical finishing, because he is very good at finishing. He is, a good finisher. Maybe he can, look at those things, but you don't expect him to create chances, or for the whole club as a young lad. You don't expect him to to carry the burden of Arsenal, and that's why I'm saying Gabriel Martinelli is coming back. It's a good story, but we need to think about even other ways of how we can solicit more energy from our players. That is what I think. What do you think? Are you excited about the coming back of the man himself, Brazilian Gabi Martinelli? I don't care I don't just care who he replaces in that squad, whether he replaces Willian, whether he replaces Pepe, or he replaces Bukayo Saka. I just want to see him back. I just want to see him get back on the on the pitch playing football. I believe right now, if we brought him in, it's going to be better than Willian. It's going to be better than Pepe. I know that the injury, has cost him. It has been a long-term injury. Mikel Arteta doesn't want to put, to rush him to get back to playing, to playing football. But we don't have an option. We just don't have an option. It is either he comes back and gets, football right away, or we are just getting into the relegation zone deeper and deeper. So Gabriel Martinelli coming back, it is big news. But the second story is more interesting. That Thomas Partey is even closer to coming back. The Tottenham Hotspur game this Sunday is going to see us play Thomas Partey if Mikel Arteta decides to play him. The player wants to play, and of course Arteta has already said that the player has been pushing for his return. He says even in the Aston Villa game where he felt that he was injured, and Mikel Arteta thought he wanted to put him off, the player still wanted to play. The player, Partey still wanted to push, until the end of the game. I just love that, such kind of players, a player with a fighting spirit, a player who wants to, continue playing for the club, a player who wants to, continue pushing, risking his health for the club. It's really remarkable. Arsenal players do not have that. Granit Xhaka cannot do that. David Luiz cannot give you that. Tenacious players cannot give you that. As soon as they have a little scratch, as soon as they have a little injury, they want to be off the pitch. They want to be relaxing out there in the sick base. But it's quite different with Thomas Partey. And Mikel Arteta has said this ever since this guy got injured. He said he wants to come back. He's pushing and pushing for him, to come back. But it's a deadly area. It's a deadly injury. You get wrong. You get it wrong. You're messing up the whole season, and that's why he says maybe we should give him more time. We might not bring him back at this point in time, and I absolutely agree. If he's not yet fit, if he's not yet in his right playing mode, let him stay out, because he's going to cost us a season. He's a player that we are looking at, to save a season. If we can get another midfielder with Thomas Partey, probably we can save a season. So even if we rush him to come back against Tottenham Hotspur, if you're going to lose against Spurs, I don't think Thomas Partey is going to block that. I just don't expect it. I think let us wait, let him come back when he's fully fit. But the good news is Mikel Arteta says the player is could be available against Spurs. The player wants to play against Tottenham Hotspur, so he is back as well. It's just a matter of time for us to see them, Gabriel Martinelli and Thomas Partey, on the pitch. Now let us go to the managerial position, because that is where my main focus was yesterday, with my discussion with the relentless Gunnar. That video is going to be coming out very soon. Massimiliano Allegri, he wants Massimiliano Allegri like I wanted Massimiliano Allegri many months back, actually a year back, when we were sacking Unai Emery. I thought we were bringing in Massimiliano Allegri. I thought we were bringing in Pochettino, but I wanted Allegri more. I believe in him. I don't know. Obviously, if you ask me, what has he done that you think you trust him? There is a lot of evidence, but I don't know why I think I just love him as the manager. I think there is something he could just add to this Arsenal club. Yeah, he has experience, he's proven, he's a manager that you think is quite different, has a very different philosophy from Mikel Arteta and Unai Emery. Is going to totally overturn Arsenal. And for me, I think one of the things that are hurting us is we have a manager that doesn't have a playing style. We have a manager that hasn't developed a brand. We have a manager that hasn't developed a brand of football. So, particularly if you ask an Arsenal fan these days, what does Arsenal play? They're just going to tell you, we are playing a defensive game. But truth is, we're not really playing a defensive game. We don't have a brand of football. You guys, you should be seeing that. It was the same thing with Unai Emery. We used to attack. We don't defend. We attack. We score goals. At least for him, that was his kind of football. He knows, you're going to open up. You concede 4, and you're going to score 3 or 2. That was his kind of football. But Mikel Arteta doesn't have this kind of football brand that is identifiable. We don't have something we play like you would see Manchester United. At least that they are good on the break. If you saw them playing yesterday against PSG, you can't see how good they are on the break. They had a couple of chances, and I think Martial should have finished, Rashford should have finished, and Edson Cavani as well should have finished. Manchester United should have had a 3-3 draw, or a 4-3 win against PSG yesterday. So they have that kind of football. Liverpool, they have a kind of football they play. Manchester City, they'll pass you around, toss you around. They have a kind of football they play. They're not like Arsenal. Arsenal don't have a kind of football, and that is really hurting us. So the reason that's why I want to see Massimiliano Allegri play. I want a kind of manager who can develop some kind of football in Arsenal, who can develop some kind of brand. Like you saw Arsene Wenger, he had the passing brand, he had the that hold the ball mentality, and everybody was good. Was good with him. Everybody was happy. We had the best manager. When it comes to passing the ball, holding the ball. He had the best tactics in that area, and everybody respected him. Leeds have a style of play, for Christ's sake. Southampton have a style of play. Everton do have a style of play initiated by Carlo Ancelotti. Every team around the Premier League has a style of play Arsenal doesn't have. And I'm telling you this as a matter of fact. If we do not develop a style of play as soon as possible, there is no way this club is going. We just can't win games. We are winning very easily in the Europa League. But I told you, the Europa League, group stage we have is a maximum point. this should be maximum points. It was so easy. It was so easy. You know, you don't expect an Arsenal fan to be bragging around that we are beating Molde, we are beating Dundalk, and so on, and getting maximum points. You know, those are clubs you can even beat without, you know, a style of play. But what about Liverpool? What about Chelsea? What about Manchester United and Tottenham? Those are clubs you need to beat with a style of play. If you're playing a defensive game like Diego Simeone, then add some additives to that game, to that style of play. Make sure you can score with that style of play. Make sure you can defend well, and make sure you can play entertaining football so that people can brand it as your own brand of football. Mikel Arteta doesn't have that, and that it's really costing us. If you ask me as an Arsenal fan, do I enjoy our games? I don't. I really don't. I would rather go out and watch Istanbul and Başakşehir playing in Turkey than rather than watching Arsenal. I'm not saying that I'm a deluded Arsenal fan that whenever we lose I want to jump out of the Arsenal squad or army. I'm putting on my away jersey, my blue jersey. I love Arsenal. I keep on putting on our jerseys. I keep on creating our content. But we need to develop a style of football, and I think Massimiliano Allegri, for me, he would work like as many Arsenal fans think. I don't know what you think as people watching this stream, but for me, Massimiliano Allegri, the right kind of manager, the right kind of guy. Mauricio Pochettino would be a good manager. He has been in the Premier League. He's proven. He has been at Spurs. He has done all the good things. Probably he would even bring back Christian Eriksen to us and let him shine again. But how long is Mauricio Pochettino going to take? For me, I think Pochettino might need some time with a club like Arsenal. For Spurs, I think he comes in at a time when they sell Gareth Bale and they get some good money. Then they start spending. He had players like Eric Lamela. Those players had already started coming in. He had Jan van der Chen. He had Hugo Lloris. He had very good players, and the players at Spurs have always had that beautiful football mentality towards their club. They're always fighting to see their club get back to the top, which is not really at Arsenal. And I think one of the things that is hurting Arsenal is the players' mentality. But anyway, Massimiliano Allegri, that story is there. Let us look at the transfer roundup and see what is really happening. First and foremost, Arsenal linked with Emi Buendia. Norwich, we were linked with Emi Buendia just at the close of the transfer window, and Norwich did not respond. I don't know whether they were not willing to sell or anything like that, but we are linked with Emi Buendia again, another creative player, another creative masterpiece. If you got him, he would be a very big addition. Dominic Szoboszlai, there are offers. I'm going to be doing that story as a big story. There are offers from Arsenal and AC Milan for Dominic Szoboszlai. Can we win the race for that guy, as well as RB Leipzig are also interested, and so much more. So guys, that is the early Arsenal news, and that is what I had for you. Gabriel Martinelli is back, Thomas Partey is back, and also think about Massimiliano Allegri as one of the new managers at Arsenal will be getting, and tell me what you think about that.